So we're now 5 months into the renovation of the chateau, and the apartment on the first floor is well underway. But today we had some further jobs to do. Ted had to knock some holes in the wall to be able to fit the waste pipe that will go through from the ground floor up to apartment 3. Now, you may be wondering why we're working on apartment 3. That's because you have to think ahead. The waste pipes have to go in and connect to the second apartment, which is the one we're working on the first floor. Confused? Yeah. But anyway, the waste pipe got put in, all was done and completed. It was on to the next job. The Jean-Pierre suite, the bathroom, was really coming along. I'd been taping jointing the plasterboard. It was time for Ted to now sand it back. After that, it was on to making and fitting the door frames. Job number 3. You saw us previously putting up the plasterboard in the ceiling. It was time to tape and joint it. Now this was a new job that I had to learn, but I think I did pretty good. The ceiling looks amazing. A lick of paint and it will be perfect.
About blue shape, just let them comment. Because the thing is, you look at these beams here, yeah? Look at these beams here, and you look at these beams to be done. They look fantastic.
Now to solve the confusion on the water pipes. Here's an explanation.
So we're in the barn, opposite our tent. This is where our old electrics are, as you see, our EDF electrics, which, you know, don't look as scary as, well, they look scary, but they're not scary. Yeah, so they're okay. But we've had the mains power coming in. All this is now redundant. All this stuff over here is now redundant. We had a new fuse board going that our electrician put in a while ago. And this was really so we could connect up our basic electric stove. So this the four-way in the tea room, so we could do the work. So there was a lot of work in, and we had a bit of light down in our old bathroom. It came in last week, the beginning of this week, to connect up the big stuff. So this here, you'll see, let me get out of the way. I'll get behind here. There we go, look. So this stuff here, hello. This stuff here, big cable going into the big stuff here, and then a big conduit down, which runs the mains cable. So the mains cable for in the house itself, in the main house. So this here is a, as he pointed out, a very expensive RCD trip that does, you know, because we've got a lot of electrics going in the house, this is a real belt and braces thing. And these are going to be the fuse boards that are for the house and for the 12th century side. So the ones with the red tape on are the ones we're using at the moment. And then we have space for 3 more, which will have one in the catering kitchen, one over at the main house, and one in for my workshop, which will be these 3. Only a little one in for the workshop. But then there is space for another 3 if we wanted to have them. It may well need an upgrade from EDF. So, because over in France, there's something you can do, is you can phone up EDF and say, look, I need more electricity. Obviously, you pay for it, but I need more electricity. I need you to put more electricity from the mains into my house. And they will come along and upgrade your electricity, the power coming into your house. So they do that. So at the moment, we have 12 kVA coming into the house. We may need more than that. We probably will need more than that when you get everything up and running. So we'll get them to do that. But obviously that comes at a cost. Can't tell you what that is. So this cable, so first off, let's go to it. So we ran, when we had the digger here a couple of weeks ago, we ran a big channel across the front of the 12th century side to run both the electricity and the water, 2 channels, both the electricity and the water across to that house. So that was sensible to do that. Those are then coming out here. They're not connected because obviously we're not going to be getting down to phase 3, phase 4. So we don't need to connect them right now, but it was sensible to put that stuff in while we had the wherewithal to do it. So from there, from this big lump of a thing here, so the pipework comes round the perimeter of the building and down into, many moons ago, the trench that I dug, mostly by hand, I hasten to add. And here you'll see that the pipework actually comes in from outside. So this is where our water main comes in from the outside. So this will run all the way through the back wall of the house, and then from there it's taken up into the apartments.
Hello, little boy. What you doing?
Hello, boy.
Hello, boy.
Hello, boy. We're in the house. A lot of people say, why don't you live in a house? Why didn't you create a place where you could stay in the house? Why are you still living in the tent? All those sort of things, situations. Can I just get out of the way? This is why we don't live in a house. The last thing we want to do is be working around large, big piles of dust and rubble. So that's why we don't live in the house at the moment. In here, as you will see, there is some rather large waste pipe. So these waste pipes, and above us is apartment 3. So these come down from apartment 3 and also go up into the grenier at the top. So our water pipe comes into here, it's teed off there and runs into our bathroom. It has, you want to stand in where I'm trying to explain? But yeah, so we've got 2 4-inch pipes, 100 mm pipes going now that go all the way through the back end, all the way through to where is going to be the fosse septique at the back of the house here. However, I've got now a serious problem as to how the hell I'm going to deal with that and make that in some way look attractive in apartment 1. So this is a major problem, and this is something we have been left with now because
We have no plumber.
we have no plumber stroke electrician who's now gone back to England. We can only do what we can do.
Can you just explain why there's 2 waste pipes?
So there's 2 waste pipes due to the fact that one, I'm not really sure.
Shall I tell you why?
Why?
One's a degreaser
Yeah.
and one
That's what I
is
was
a
gonna
waste.
say. I was going to say that one, yeah.
Go
The
ahead.
one pipe is apparently for the degreaser from the kitchens, and one is obviously for the soil. Why? I suppose because we're going to have 3, 4, 5 kitchens in here, that's why we need a degreaser. Otherwise the fosse septic won't work properly if we don't have that degreaser situation. It is massively unsightly, and I don't know what the hell I'm going to do to try and make it look anyway decent. If anybody's got any suggestions, I've talked about window seats for boxing in and things, but this is going to be the entire length of this back wall.
So join us on the next chapter to see what solutions we come up with for this space. See you soon.